Hi, my name's Paul Browning. I just wanted to share with you some ideas. I've had a few requests from my students on how to get through the CCNA in 2019. So we'll dive straight into it. Firstly, you may never have heard of me. If my name rings a bell, it's because I've been on Amazon. I am on Amazon. Most of my books are for sale on there. And I think I published my first book back in 2005 maybe. So there's the first 3 spots on the Amazon bestsellers lists when I launched all these books, and number 5 is a subnetting book I've written. There's about 15 in total. I worked in the police in the UK for around 12 years, and then I went into IT. That's a whole other story, but I worked at Cisco TAC for 2 or 3 years, just near to London. Then I started my own IT company doing consulting for networks, installing and troubleshooting network globally. And then eventually, over time, I've written a large number of Amazon books, which most have hit the bestsellers, and some are still there if you want to take a look. I actually own 3 main training websites, which I'll mention at the very end. Howtonetwork.com, which used to be howtonetwork.net, that launched in around 2006, providing video training for IT certification and career. In60days.com, it's an intensive CCNA study site, and a brand new one which is 101labs.net. So I've been helping people just like you from all walks of life pass CCNA, CCNP, CCDA, CompTIA, Linux, a whole bunch of exams. Obviously I have other people on the team that contribute to the other subjects that I'm not an expert in. So yeah, I've been helping people for a long time. So I'm going to cover what is the CCNA, just in case you're not familiar. It's considered the premier networking certification in the world of IT, and it has been for many years now. Generally speaking, if you want to work in any networking role, including non-Cisco, funnily enough, they still require the CCNA because of what you have to learn. It covers pretty much every major network protocol and technology that's used today, and due to feedback from Cisco customers, it's revised every 3 years, major revisions usually. It's perfect door opener to get into IT networking. If you want to see some case studies, if you go to howtonetwork.com and scroll down, you'll see just I think 4 or 5 people who've used it to get promotions or their first job, and I actually used it to get my first job in IT, so it does actually work. You can use it as a foundation for CCNP, security, wireless design, because you still need to know how networks work before you take all these exams. Now you have to recertify every 3 years. So yeah, when you pass the exam, it's not as if you're using it for life. Like some exams, like personal trainer course I did recently, I'm qualified for the rest of my life, even though obviously the industry moves on and things change. So there's 2 areas of knowledge or skills, if you like, that are going to be tested and you need to prep. Around 50% of your final score is based on theory. Now Cisco don't actually publish this information. I've gleaned it over the almost 20 years now of teaching and retaking the exam. So you need to know all your theory, your routing protocols, IP subnetting, IPv6, your WAN, wireless and LANs. You can actually download the latest syllabus for free if you just Google Cisco CCNA syllabus. Security is obviously an area you need to know, and that's growing. And then obviously whatever knowledge you have, you need to apply to whatever questions they're going to ask you in the exam. Now around 50% of your final score is based on labs, and this is where a lot of people fall down. This will be you configuring whatever the routing protocol could be. You'll have to use commands to interrogate Cisco routers or switches in the exam on a network simulator to answer questions about the topology. And you may be given a network that's been configured but isn't working, and then you have to go and fix whatever the problem is. So that's pretty tricky. Now please do check on the Cisco website, because they can change this at any moment, but over the many years they've been offering it. It's always been 90 minutes. It's now 60 to 70 questions. It used to be more, and you may get 2 or 3 simulations that you need to configure or troubleshoot. Check this is in American dollars, so obviously that can change and it's different in different countries. If you want to take the CCNA exam in just one exam, it's $300. If you want to take the 2 exam route, then it's $165 each. You book it online, you go to Pearson View. This is all available via the Cisco website, and there you'll find your nearest testing centre, which could be a long drive for many of you, and you'll go and sit the exam at the testing centre. And at the moment it's proctored, so somebody will be sitting in a room next to you and take you through to the exam testing centre. It's computer based, so you'll have multiple questions where you have to fill in the blank, drag and drop, one question with one answer, one question with multiple answers, so it's pretty tricky. You're not allowed a calculator or a pen or paper or a phone. You'll be given a small whiteboard and a marker that you can use during the exam. You are monitored via video. When you finish the exam, you'll click submit. You will see a bar appear across the screen and it will tell you whether or not you've passed. The pass mark is very approximately 85 to 86%, and each exam is weighted slightly differently. So you'll be given a printout with your photo on, because you have to be photographed at the testing centre, and that's proof of you passing. I've heard they've just changed it, so you actually may have to pay for your certificate, which is, I think, a little bit naughty considering how much you've spent. You used to get a really nice certificate. I don't actually have it here with me now, and a card that you can put in your wallet to prove that you're CCNA. And I've got cards for my Microsoft and Cisco and CompTIA. So it's a shame that they're charging you for that. Here's your 2 options. Neither one is best. You work out which is the best way to go. For the CCNA, the exam code is 200125 at the moment until they change it. Again, every 3 years. You just take one exam, which is the entire syllabus. Again, check on the Cisco website for the syllabus, which they can change at any time. If you want to break it down into smaller chunks, you'll be doing half the syllabus in the 2 exam route, which is the ICND1 and the ICND2 with those numbers. And it's important you get the right number, because you could book the wrong exam, like one of my friends did. He rocked up and he paid for the wrong exam. So if you take the ICND1, you actually get a qualification called the CCENT, Cisco Certified Entry Level Network Technician. You would do that, or you need that, if you're going to take some other Cisco exams, such as the design exam, the CCDA, security, and other Cisco exams. So check before you go and try and take another exam that you've got the required prerequisite. Google the following term, Cisco CCNA exam syllabus. Bear in mind that Cisco, when on the syllabus, it says they reserve the right to add other things to the exam when you take it that isn't included in the syllabus. So sometimes I get angry emails from students who say I didn't teach whatever the subject is, and sometimes it's just not in the syllabus. This is one of the Cisco exam reference pages. You can see you can get booking the exam, recertify, resources, all that kind of stuff. I've never paid for any of these Cisco training resources, so I don't know what quality they are. For hands-on lab, you must check the syllabus and it will tell you which are the practical topics. So if this is just one of the parts of the syllabus, you can see 1.5 is configure, verify and troubleshoot. If it says anything like that, you obviously can expect to have to do a lab on it, so you need to do labs at home. Underneath, 1.6 and 1.7 says describe. Well, now it looks like they may not be asking you to configure this. I can't guarantee it though. So I've actually got a lab book, which I'll mention later, which actually teaches you the stuff they're saying to describe. We do this for 2 reasons: just in case there's a lab, and secondly, there's no way you can understand DHCP snooping unless you configured it. It's impossible. It's like learning how to check the oil on your car. Until you've gone and pulled out the stick, you won't actually know how to do it. So there's just the best way to learn theories to do it. So this kind of thing will pop up during your exam 2 or 3 times, and you will have multiple routers and switches, or maybe even one, and you can click on the devices and a window will open up where you can do your configurations, a command line window. On a host, you will either have a command line or it will have part of the Windows desktop, and you will have to fix whatever the problem is or answer questions. So command line's available. You can use the question mark. I've always been able to. So if you're stuck in a command, you hit the question mark and you'll see what the available options are. You will have to fix or configure. It could be anything: spanning tree, access lists, routing, NAT. So like I said, check the syllabus. Use the show commands. You may be required to use show commands on various devices and then answer questions about the network topology or the device. One of the things you'll need to do as part of your prep is do some practice exams. I'll actually come to this in a moment, but it's an important part of your study preparation. First thing is study guides. You can do video courses, obviously. It's really important you get a quality study guide, and probably Amazon's the place most of us go to. So have a look for CCNA study guides, have a look at what's got the feedback, and probably things that are in their second, third, fourth, fifth version. I think Cisco CCNA Simplified, which is my book, is currently in its fifth version now, so it's been updated. And make sure you check it covers the latest syllabus, and it should say in the description for the book. So you get your main study guide, and then I recommend you get a backup one, a different study guide, which you can read about other points, and that will fill in some blanks, because no one book can cover everything generally. Lab time. Spend around 50% of your time doing hands-on labs. Now I've actually pulled up one of my new books, 101 Labs Cisco CCNA. The latest version is red and white. There's an older version that was purple. I can't find any other lab guides for CCNA, so I would have put pictures of other ones up so you could have a look. But it's perverted, I think, or perverse, that half your score in the exam is for your practical skills, and yet there was no practical books out there, which is why I had to write my own. And then, as I mentioned, I shouldn't have I've meant to delete that last slide. You need to be doing tons and tons of practice exams right from day one, even though you don't know what you're doing and you've only probably read a few pages. Just do practice exams every day. So that's an image to a Udemy set of practice exams, which I'll go into later. So your study guide, carry with you at all times in your bag. I read mine when I was on a train to work or on a bus. I even took mine into the toilet with me. If you're a guy, you tend to spend more time in there, and I would read it everywhere I went. And if there was a delay or during my lunch break at work, I would go and read it and highlight it and make notes. And my three of my main ones that are around the CCNA are listed there: Cisco CCNA in 60 days. IP subnetting from 0 to Guru, because around 15% of your marks roughly in the exam are on subnetting, and then CCNA Simplified. Any commands you see, just try them out. There's a free tool that Cisco provide called Packet Tracer that you can download. You just need to set up a free account with them, and that will simulate Cisco routers and switches. Make notes in your book. Obviously, if it's Kindle, you can actually, I think you can make notes on Kindle or highlight parts of it, but definitely, as far as IT goes, I always buy the printed book, because you'll be using it for years to come. Any other subjects you're not sure about, for example, if it mentions an RFC or some sort of technology, read around it. You can do that for free online. Again, I mentioned get one main guide and one backup guide. Hands-on labs, you must be doing a ton. You can download Packet Tracer for free. Packet Tracer's just about good enough for CCNA level. It doesn't offer all the commands that you would need to know for CCNA. It probably does about 90%. So when you say, for example, you have the 101 Lab Cisco CCNA, it will do many or most of the labs, but not all, because it's not a perfect tool. It's a simulation of a network. I recommend you spend at least some time working on live Cisco racks. For example, howtonetwork.com has got live Cisco racks, or you could get some cheap second-hand routers off eBay and sell them when you're finished. So get a quality lab guide. I've only seen one, as I said. Lab up your technology. So if you're reading something about NAT or DHCP, just try the commands out. You don't have to do a full lab as you're reading your study guide. Expect to make mistakes, break stuff, fix it, and then break it all again, and this is how you learn. This is the forgotten study tool, and yet it's crucial if you want to pass. I don't think you're going to pass without doing this. You must spend some time every day doing practice exams. So yeah, do every day. Take, even if you just started, which I said, even if you get 10% when you first start, just do the exams, because this shows you how to take what you've learned in the book or the lab guide and apply it to an actual question. So it's really important. Do not attempt the real exam because it's $300 until you're getting at least 95% in the practice exams. I personally would recommend you avoid brain dump sites because they give you most of the time the wrong answers. These people who take the exams just, I don't know how, they photograph the screen somehow with a hidden camera, but generally speaking they nearly always get the answers wrong. Alright, the other thing is create a spreadsheet of the syllabus. You can download the syllabus for free, as I said. Just port it into whatever spreadsheet program you have and mark each main subject, and then you can highlight it whatever colours you want. And as you've mastered that subject, you can turn it into grey or put a tick on it or whatever you want, and then visually you'll eventually have ticked off every single subject that's in the syllabus. 2 hours per day I recommend you study. I know it's a lot, but just get up early, like I currently get up at 5 in the morning now, and do my some studying and some cardio so I can keep fit, and then you just got to find the time somehow, but it's only for a few weeks. Do 45 minutes theory, do 45 minutes lab, and 30 minutes on practice exams. So that works out as 2 hours, yeah. So that's my recommendation. You can fine tune it if you wish, obviously. Now, shameless plug just for a few minutes. howtonetwork.com is my main website, offers unlimited IT certification training. That's got all your practice exams, live racks, and video training on there. So please peruse it. If it's something of interest to you, there's a special URL which I've put on the bottom, sorry. You must go to this special URL, which means you only pay $1 to get access for 30 days. howtonetwork.com/YouTube. Otherwise, you'll be paying the price everyone else pays. If you want an intensive way to study for your CCNA, go to in60days.com. Every day a new lesson for the CCNA unlocks. Again, that's got all your practice exams and theory. There's no live racks though, so check that out if you wish. Yeah, let's get everything you want, but it doesn't have the racks. I've just literally launched in the new year 101labs.net. This is purely learn by doing, so there's no theory. It's all just hands-on labs, and you follow along with me. So this is video based, and each course has got 200 practice exam questions as well. There's no theory involved in that at all. So again, please check that out in your own time. Just my coffee delivery. That's I'm adding more courses as we go, maybe one every 2 months currently. CCNA, CCNP, IP subnetting, and Network Plus. If you want to go to Amazon, there's some links actually at the bottom that will take you directly to the books. These are my main Cisco CCNA related books. If you prefer to train through audio books, then if you go to howtonetwork.com under products, you'll see audio books and my CCNA books there, and the same on in60days.com. Check the links below for all my suggested resources. Please subscribe for more videos. I'm going to be more active on YouTube. I've actually been on YouTube for maybe 10 or so years, but I've been so busy writing books I haven't been regular, but I'm going to be uploading more videos. I'll be doing hands-on lab demos, give you some exam tips, study advice, career tips, and most importantly, motivational tools and ideas. So please subscribe below. So that's it. Thanks for watching. I'll see you on the next video.